I wanted to do this video to clarify what I think vampires are, because I talk a lot about vampires on this channel. I do not believe that vampires are shape-shifting undead creatures that turn into bats or grow fangs or gain immortality by drinking blood. I definitely think that there is a sect of elite bloodliners who practice vampirism, which includes but is not limited to blood drinking. I think vampirism is a demonic attribute of their religion, a way of thinking and behaviors based on demonic possession and a rebellion against God and a rebellion against Christ. It seems it does follow a certain genealogical line that dates back to antiquity and to the Nephilim. And it seems that it follows a lineage because many of these bloodliners follow the tradition and pass it down to their genetic offspring. And they represent this in literature and other art forms such as movies, plays, etc. And there are a lot of videos on my channel showing this. See my playlist titled Bloodliners Depicted as Vampires in Movies. And after learning about secret societies and their practices, which does involve human blood drinking, I want to review what I think their beliefs are and why bloodliners are often depicted as vampires in movies. And that is because they carry on the Nephilim tradition. And they carry these because they follow the fallen angels in their teachings. Several of their abuse victims report ritualistic practices where these occult societies invoke the vampire spirit. I've previously covered who these people are and what their societies are, so I won't go over that again in this video, but basically it's the Dragon Court, and an example of a secret society would be the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. I came to my conclusions from doing a lot of research and reading about their cults, and also reading the literature of individuals like Nicholas de Vere, who believes he is an elven bloodliner vampire. And maybe he is. His book is Transylvania to Tunbridge Wells, and you can find that online if you're interested. This is what it looks like. I also came to the conclusion by listening to other individuals, not bloodliners, who are obviously possessed by this same spirit of vampirism and who hang around with others who are also possessed by the spirit. And I think that the practices can vary a bit within different subsects, but do overlap and intersect. And the main theme across all subjects or subsects is the perceived necessity for external chronic energy from other people. The need for a specific type of power, which can be obtained through controlling others, physically, emotionally, or spiritually, also through hurting others, torture, warfare, manipulation, murder, and directly through blood drinking. Another common theme is that of alchemy. And alchemy, defined simply, is transformation. And in humans, this relates to physical and spiritual transformation, but without God and without Jesus, often through mystical practices. Allegorically, vampires transform their bodies to become immortal, but their spirit and behaviors are beastly and evil, and oftentimes this is represented in literature as a hellish existence in which vampires regret that exchange. There is a sect who believes their soul is not exactly human in nature. They believe that they have gone through a transformation, either by ritual or some other mystical practice, or in the case of the bloodliners, they may believe that this is their condition from birth or through genealogy, like Nicholas de Vere. But it's actually because they are inhabited by a demon spirit. This is accompanied by a belief that they have clairvoyance and other psychic abilities, that they can do magic, hypnotize and manipulate others, manipulate reality, in other words, witchcraft, and also weather manipulation also. And they think that feeding off this type of energy by manipulating others is a benefit, embracing the philosophy, do as thou wilt. Another category of beliefs are those who feel that they are deficient of energy for some reason, even though it may not be a physical deficiency based on diet or health in reality. And therefore they feel that the consumption of blood or harming others in the ways that I previously discussed puts them back into balance. or makes them feel whole. And that's not to say that some people, like the bloodliners, don't have a specific blood type or deficiency that is physical, but this should not cause the demonic behavior like blood drinking if the person had Christ according to my experience and according to my Bible. And the truth is they are deficient because not only do they not have the Holy Spirit of God, but they have had that replaced by a demonic spirit, sometimes intentionally and ritually, as in the case of the members of the cults like the Hermetic Order. The next category is those who have what they describe as a spiritual awakening, specifically from ancient Egypt. And this is linked to Hermeticism. Hermes taught eternal youth, the philosopher's stone. Hermeticism is a philosophical and religious system based on the teachings of Hermes Trismegistus. It's a Hellenistic combination of the Greek god Hermes and the Egyptian god Thoth, and based on the Emerald Tablet of Thoth, Thoth being an Egyptian god, and Egypt being the first beast empire after the flood. And Greek and Rome also being beast empires, and so the Hellenistic period was a period of Greek and Roman empires. And these teachings of Hermes Trismegistus are the cornerstone of spiritual alchemy. And this is obviously a very ancient, very powerful demonic influence. The image that I'm showing here is also Hermes Trismegistus, and this is in the floor. It's a mosaic, and it's in the floor of the Cathedral of Siena, which is in Italy. It's a Gothic cathedral, and this is it. It's now a Roman Catholic church, and it was completed in the early 1200s. And you're going to notice that many of the vampire movies, there's often a Gothic theme, and frequently Gothic cathedral imagery. And there is a reason for that. And that reason is the same type of religious practice was present among those who funded these cathedrals, the Knights Templar. Thanks for listening.